I'm Jack Draper. Shout out to QualityShot Tennis.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's another preview and prediction video. Today it's the WTA Madrid Open, the Masters 1000 tournament on the WTA side, which is going to be really exciting because it's the first Masters 1000 tournament of the clay court swing for the women. Before we get into it though, remember to that like button, do subscribe if you are new, and also leave a rating or review if you're listening on a podcast platform. Also, thank you to our members, of course, as always, and thank you to our contributors on podcast platforms. Over 80% of you are still not subscribed on YouTube, so do hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. It really does help us out. Okay, let's get into it. Iga Swiatek is the top seed in this tournament, and Ons Jabeur is the defending champion. Swiatek missed Madrid last year, so she has a lot of points to potentially gain. She did win Rome, of course, and Jabeur made the final there, but she goes into this the favourite after winning WTA Stuttgart, beating Sabalenka in the final pretty convincingly in the end. It was a very competitive match, but I think she really laid down a marker to say that she is the woman to beat. She is the person to beat when it comes to clay court tournaments, and especially going into Roland Garros. So the early signs are Iga is going to dominate on the clay again, but we'll see, because this tournament might bring up some very interesting matchups. So let's get into it. Iga Swiatek has a bye. So she, of course, goes through there. Raducanu has a qualifier, so we're going to assume that she's going to win. Iala is a wild card, plays Tatiana Maria. We'll go with Tatiana Maria. Pera has a bye, as is Zheng Xinwen. Galfi plays McNally. I'm going to go McNally to win that. Cornet has a qualifier. Alexandrova has a bye. Krejcikova, the 2021 French Open champion, has a bye. And Kovinic plays a qualifier. Gracheva and Wang Zhu. We'll go Gracheva. Andreescu has a bye. Martic has a bye as well. Podoroska plays a qualifier. And Kalinskaya plays Brenda Kvitova. Oh, Brenda Kvitova has a wild card. I'm going to go with her. I like her game. Exciting young talent. Rybakina and Pegula both have byes. And Paulini has a qualifier. Svitolina is a wild card. Elena Svitolina, that is, against Sasnovich. It's a tough one. She's coming back from injury. Clay isn't really her best surface. We'll go with Sasnovich. I know she's still on the way back on the comeback trail, so could be a tough one. Buskova has a bye, as has Trevisan. Qualifiers there. Parks plays a qualifier, and Victoria Azarenka and Kudermetova have byes. Blinkova has a qualifier, and Christian and Sloane Stephens. We'll go with Sloane Stephens. Potapova has a bye, as does Jill Teichmann. Sorenko versus Bronzetti. We'll go Bronzetti. Kasintseva is a wild card, plays Pavlyuchenkova, the 2021 Roland Garros finalist, We'll go with Pavlyuchenkova. Kasatkina has a bye, as does Coco Gauff. Kanepi, Shelby Rogers. Wow, that's a real good first round matchup. Two big hitters. I don't think either player particularly likes the clay. We'll go Shelby Rogers just because she's a little bit fresher, but anyone could win that one, honestly, at 50-50. Strikova versus Cotriretto for me. Badosa has a bye, as does Vekic. Masarova versus Buxa. We'll go Buxa. Anisimova has a qualifier. Good to see her back. Sakkari has a bye, as does Samsonova. And on top of that, Zanevska and Kenin. Well, Kenin to beat Zanevska. Kvitova and Volyanets will go for Kvitova. And Ostapenko has a bye, as does Begu. Kontaveit versus Mukova. Kontaveit's really dropped down the ranks. I'm going to go Mukova. I just can't see Kontaveit finding that form on the clay. Bogdan and Bonda will go Bogdan. Jabeur has a bye, as does Caroline Garcia. Interesting to see if Ons Jabeur still plays this tournament. I know she has that calf injury. Hopefully she is fit to play. So far, she hasn't dropped out. Putintseva, Claire Liu will go Putintseva. Georgi, Sharif will go Georgi. Kalinina has a bye, as is Mertens. Marino to beat Zhu. And Niemia to beat Wang Xinyu. Kvitova has a bye, as has Haddad Meir. And Fernandez, I think, will beat Andreeva. Ribera has a qualifier. Lynette has a bye, as does Kostyuk. Osorio to beat a qualifier. Kirsty to beat Lauren Davis. Sabalenka has a bye. Now, this is where it gets interesting from the second round onwards. So we've got Iga Swiatek versus Emma Raducanu. Now, This is just an unfortunate matchup, and Swiatek is so strong on the clay. If this was at Wimbledon, I kind of think this could be a pretty close match in all honesty, because Swiatek is not the best on the grass, and Raducanu really likes it. But on a slow surface, generally speaking, on clay, even though Madrid is one of the quicker clay courts, but it's still generally speaking on the spectrum slow, then we'll go with Swiatek, of course. Tatiana Maria to beat Pera, Zheng Xinwen to beat McNally, Cornet to beat Alexandrova, Krejcikova to beat Kovanic, Andreescu to beat Krejcikova, Podoroska to beat Martic, Rybakina to beat Fruhvirtova, Pegula to beat Paolini, Sasnovich to beat Buskova, Trevisan to beat a qualifier. I'm going to go with Alicia Parks to beat Azarenka. I just don't think Azarenka on clay is particularly effective, and I feel like Alicia Parks is fresh, and I like the way that she plays on all surfaces. I think she's an exciting young player. Kudermetova versus Blinkova, go Kudermetova. Sloane Stevens versus Potapova, go Potapova. She made the semi-finals of Stuttgart last week, so I think she'll have some real form going into this. Jill Teichmann versus Bronzetti will go Bronzetti, and Kasatkina to beat Pavlyuchenkova. Goff versus Rogers will go Goff on the clay. Cottiretto and Badosa will go Badosa. Buxa, Vekic to beat Buxa. Anisimova, Sakkari. This is a really good one. Sakkari or Anisimova? I think on a clay court, Sakkari. Samsonova versus Kenin will go Samsonova. Fruhvirtova and Ostapenko. I think she's just been playing really well. She was unlucky not to beat Jabeur. She fell away a little bit there. Should have won that match. If she can play anywhere near to that level, she wins. Begu versus Mukova will go Begu. We'll go Jabeur to beat Bogdan. That's assuming she's fully fit. I'm going to go Putintseva to beat Caroline Garcia in an upset. And I'm going to go Georgie to beat Kalinina. Mertens, Marino will go Mertens. Niemia to beat Kvitova on the clay. Again, another upset there. I'm going to go Fernandez to beat Haddad Meyer. Again, surface dependent. And Lynette to beat Ribera. Kostyuk. Osorio, it's a tough one. Kostyuk just. Sabalenka to beat Kostea. Swiatek to beat Maria, and Cornet to beat Zheng Xinwen. I think she might have a bit too much experience. I think she might, outmaneuver her with her veteran skills. Krejcikova and Andreescu. Now, if Andreescu is fit, this is a really tough match for Krejcikova, but I think Krejcikova will come out on top. Podoroska, Rybakina. Again, this is assuming she's fully fit. Pegula to beat Sasnovich, and I'm going to go Alicia Parks to beat Trevisan, Potapova to beat Kudermetova, Kasatkina to beat Bronzetti, and Coco Gauff Badosa. I'm going to go Badosa to beat Coco Gauff. Badosa's played some decent tennis recently. It'll be interesting to see how Coco Gauff plays in Madrid, but I'm going to go with Badosa. She's in Madrid. She is at home. I think she's going to soak it up. Vekic and Sakkari will go Sakkari. Ostapenko to beat Samsonova. Jabeur to beat Begu. Putintseva to beat Georgie, Niemia to beat Mertens, and Fernandez to beat Lynette, Sabalenka to beat Kostyuk. Round of 16 matchups. Swiatek and Cornet. Cornet beat Swiatek at Wimbledon last year, but I don't see it happening on the clay, so Swiatek for me. Krejcikova, Rybakina. This is what I want to see, because we haven't seen this matchup. We've seen Krejcikova, Swiatek, a couple of times back end of last year. We've seen Sabalenka, Swiatek a few times. We've seen Sabalenka, Rybakina a few times. Of course, we've seen Swiatek, Rybakina as well, but we haven't seen Krejcikova, Rybakina. It's tough to know, honestly, because I think if we're talking about a hard court, I think Rybakina comes out on top on any quick surfaces. That's on grass or any fast hard courts. Slow hard courts, I think she still has a slight edge. But clay courts, does she have an edge? Now, this is a slightly quicker clay court, so it does mean that her serve will be a little bit more potent than what it would be on normal clay surfaces, but it's still a slow surface. Krejcikova is more at home, moving on it. I'm going to go Krejcikova I'm very unsure on this one, though. I really want to watch it. I think it'll be a fantastic matchup, so hopefully we get it. Jessica Pegula, Alicia Parks. We'll go Pegula. Potapova to beat Katsakina. I'm going to go for her to carry on her good form. Badosa to beat Sakkari. Or Stepanko Jabeur, rematch of last week. I'm going to go Jabeur to win. Again, that's assuming she's fully fit. And Niemia to beat Potentseva. Then I think Fernandez and Sabalenka. Now, Swiatek, Krejcikova on the clay. Could Krejcikova beat Swiatek? Now, on hard court, she's managed to do it. Could she do it on the clay courts? Well, I do want to see this. This is the match I want to see on clay because I do think I want to see Krejcikova and Rybakina against her. Now, I'm going to answer that in a second because I might go left field. I'm just thinking about it in my head, tactically how it would work. Sabalenka to beat Niemia. Jabeur Badosa, that's a really good matchup. I'll go Jabeur. And Pegula, but I need to think about her calf though. Is she going to be fine? I'm gonna go Badosa. I don't think her body's gonna hold up for the whole tournament. I'd be surprised. Pegula and Potapova will go Pegula. Right, Swiatek and Krejcikova. It's so hard to pick against Swiatek. I want to be brave and go for Krejcikova. But if she's beaten Rybakina, most likely that's been a really tough match. I'm going to go with Swiatek. It might be the boring pick, and if we do get this matchup, I will do a preview video, and I may change my mind because I really am on the fence on this one. I think Krejcikova is a very underrated clay court player. So that leaves us with Swiatek and Pegula semi-final, Badosa and Sabalenka. I'm going to go with Swiatek to beat Pegula, and I'm going to go with Badosa to beat Sabalenka. I think Badosa will get revenge over Sabalenka from last week in Stuttgart. I think the crowd will be on her side. I think that will help. So I've gone pretty big on Paula Badosa. And then I've gone Swiatek in the final. I think she'll beat Badosa. I just can't see any way that she doesn't win this, in all honesty, unless she... The only way I can see her not winning is if she gets stopped in the quarterfinals or round of 16, whatever it was, against Rybakina or Krejcikova. That's that one match, and whoever wins that and plays her, they've got the best chance of anyone else, I think, in the draw. The way that the draws played out, because I don't think Sabalenka would beat her in this surface either. And we saw last week that she's still a bit further away from Swiatek on the clay. And indoors, actually, she is probably her best chance on clay. Outdoors, I think Swiatek, the gap actually widens even more. So Swiatek is my winner. Let me know what you think and who you think is going to win and why, and which matchups are you most excited for. Thank you very much, guys. Stay safe and well. We'll see you on the next video.